Yo people, welcome back to another review, The Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 4, or Episode 20, The Foundling. And let me just start with the main event of the whole episode, which was Grogu getting the flashback to Order 66 while the armorer was making his new armor. We see multiple Jedi protecting him like we did in the trailer, and this time we hear the Jedi saying to get Grogu to Kellerin. And at first I thought this was a planet, I don't know why, but as the clones start killing the Jedi, we see the rush to escort Grogu. Also just want to point out that I'm pretty sure that's the same flying buggy pod situation that we see Grogu in during The Mandalorian Season 1 when we first meet Grogu. Anyways, he just about manages to get on the lift without getting shot, and we see the doors open, and who comes out to save Grogu? None other than Ahmed Best, the same actor that played Jar Jar Binks. Now, let me know in the comments if you wanted the person to save Grogu to be a recognizable character, or if the rescuer being a random new character is good with you. Personally, I prefer this new character approach because, especially with Ahmed Best being able to get his redemption in Star Wars after all the years of abuse that he received and all the shit that he's had to overcome, I'm very happy for him that he got this moment. But yeah, back to the episode, and we see Kellerin use 2 lightsabers and he takes out all the clones in front of him. And I don't know if it's just me, but he uses that unpredictable fighting technique that Jar Jar had in a very, very subtle way. I don't know if it's just me that saw that, but who knows, maybe this is how Darth Jar Jar was supposed to fight. Hehe. Conspiracy theories aside, Kellerin then gets on a speeder with Grogu and drives off, only to be chased down by clones who get in a Republic gunship and chase him throughout Coruscant. Now, I don't know if this was a direct order from Palpatine to get Grogu, but yeah, getting a gunship to chase down the speeder, it seems like it's a pretty important task. Kellerin then manages to shake off the ship, and he says that he has some friends waiting for him at the landing platform. We find out that the friends are some guards, and they sacrifice themselves so that Kellerin and Grogu can get away in the ship, which they manage to do so as they jump into hyperspace, and the flashback sadly ends, and I hope it's not the last of it, whether it's this season or in future seasons. Now, I have some thoughts straight away. Were the guards from Naboo? Were they those Naboo guards that we see in Phantom Menace? Because they wore the same colours, but not only that, the ship that Kellerin ends up taking off in, it looks a lot like Padme's ship, so surely Kellerin might have been someone who knew Padme, or at least he was from Naboo, or is he taking Grogu to Naboo? I don't know, but there's some sort of Naboo connection with this whole thing. Still so many questions about Grogu's past that are unanswered, as well as Kellerin's past now, which I hope we may find out about at some point, but that's just wishful thinking at this stage. We just have to keep assuming as well that Yoda and Yaddle are the parents of Grogu until that gets cleared up. But yeah, the scene ends with the armourer having made a rondel for Grogu, which is his second piece of armour now. As for the rest of the episode, it was a rescue mission because at the start of the episode, the same kid from episode 1 season 3 that got inducted got swooped by a dragon. The fact that they've been attacked by a crocodile hybrid and now a dragon, it's actually pretty funny because you'd think they'd move or something, but yeah, all these wild things just exist and they're just there. But before I get into what happened there, I just want to point out that it was nice to see Grogu using the practice dart paintball things. His first time using a Mandalorian weapon of some sort, even if it was just paintballs. It was nice to see that at least, as well as him merging that with the force abilities of the force jump, doing the front flip, doing the back flip. It foreshadows his future, which is very exciting going forwards. It distances him from the sequels because he's a Mandalorian and a Jedi, so it's not like he's 100% required for the sequels, if that makes sense. As for that kid that got swooped, that search mission required Bo-Katan, Paz Vizsla, Din Djarin and a search group, and while people may think it was a useless side mission, it actually did everyone in the episode quite well. It allowed Paz Vizsla to forgive Bo-Katan and Din Djarin since they saved his son. Yes, that kid that got swooped, it turns out that was Paz Vizsla's son. We wouldn't have seen those Grogu flashbacks anyways if he was never left by himself with the armor. It was a nice little tie-in with him getting the flashbacks, being in the same situation as Din Djarin in season 1 when he was also watching the armor do her thing. We also saw Bo-Katan get a bit of new armor, and she seems to be growing a soft spot for the Mandalorians. However, that ending when she asked for the Mythosaur logo, she knows exactly what she's doing, and she reminded herself that she is going to have to put those emotions to the side if she wants to achieve her big goal, which is to tame the Mythosaur and become the new ruler of Mandalore. I still believe she will be the main antagonist of this show, while the Empire goes through this rebuild phase for this season. However, I also do believe that Moff Gideon will return in this season. So she's kind of the placeholder until that point, and then we'll see what happens. But I think some people are getting afraid that we haven't seen the overarching villain for this season. I don't know, like, just take things slowly. Not everything has to be a rush. They are also trying to introduce Thrawn, who will be the Thanos equivalent for this time period in Star Wars. So you can't rush greatness. Just trust the process. We saw what happened when they rushed content. We saw the sequels. We saw what happened. So I'd rather they do it at a slow and steady pace than just rush it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the next episodes, especially that ending. I know something huge is going to happen. But yeah, let's just be patient. I appreciate everyone that made it this far. Shout out to you guys. I appreciate all the support that the channel's been getting recently as well. Feel free to comment, to like, to sub if you're new around here as well, as we're closing in on the road to 300 subs. I will catch you in the next one and have a great rest of your day.